Twitch streamers, content creators, we make mistakes. But when you do it like
absolutely
5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row, it's like, all right, bro.
It becomes consistent. It's not a mistake.
The average content creator does or says something stupid, and Frogan is a Frogan never apologizes. Frogan can do no wrong, according to Frogan. So now a lot of this video.
Well, that you know, I mean, honestly, think about it for a moment. Think about this. Why does she have to apologize? She has her perspective. She has her opinions. If you want to watch her, watch her. If you don't, don't. Feigning, I don't know, needing some sort of apology is just as cringe.
If not the first half, talks about stuff.
Of course, people think they're right. They think that.
Dives into, you know, a bit more political that I am just not qualified to talk about. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm just not the guy to talk
about same. I'm not doing the politics thing
that we've
really.
Never seen before.
I hope you get PTSD, and I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into America.
This is a pretty vile take, and not because I think you can't criticize America. You certainly can. But there's a difference in criticizing the decisions made at a high level and harboring hatred towards military service members.
Yeah, it's not the first time that this happened.
To follow orders.
My dad was telling me about this. Like, people back in the 70s and 80s would literally spit on you when you came back home. Like, yeah, this happened. Matter of fact, he was in the Navy, and like they used to actually have like yard signs up, no sailors in the yard and things. So it wasn't always favorable. And I can exactly understand how that's offensive, especially, you know, PTSD is horrendous. And then to say, I hope you don't even have health insurance to try to fix it.
People who join the military often do so because they have no other prospects in their life and no future planned ahead for them.
A lot of people do it for
a path that they otherwise wouldn't have had.
Yeah, some stability.
It doesn't even take into account how many of them are recruited fresh out of high school. Frogan and her friends are supposed to be leftists who care about the disadvantaged and the working class. But they can't even think through who they're talking to when they say things like this. They only have enough energy to fawn over an anti-Semitic Houthi terrorist. There's no energy for anyone else. A few days later, on October 21st, Frogan doubled down.
I'm getting canceled on Twitter again. I still agree with it. Aw, base.
This is absolutely hate speech. Veterans are a protected class.
Yeah, you're not allowed to hate in those for those reasons.
Class. You cannot talk about people like this. It's actually a huge problem.
Hate speech is hating someone for something that they absolutely cannot change whatsoever. Like, I cannot help it that I was born a ginger. If someone hates me because I'm a ginger, well, me, I mean, I don't care, right? But you're not allowed to hate daywalkers. You're not allowed to do it. That's hate speech.
And according to Twitch guidelines, this is a violation.
Yeah.
Now, if I can direct your attention...
Because I can't change that, and I wouldn't, frankly.
Some of them don't have a choice financially or for school. My little brother is serving right now for that reason. He's not a fan, neither am I.
I took out student loans. Listen, honey, be in student debt like everybody else.
Yeah, everyone has access to loans. Like, people don't understand it's actually a privilege to be in debt. Like, I know that might sound crazy to some. It may be a hot take, but being in debt is a privilege. Not everyone has access to capital. Sorry.
No, but thank you. You think
Same for Frogan.
You think I want to be in $100,000 of student loan debt? No, I don't. But I never brown children at the expense of it.
It's a privilege to be in debt.
You often need a cosigner to even get a loan.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even have that.
I don't know.
Exactly.
This is someone that has no idea what the fuck they're talking about, yet they're acting like they know. For example, when there's something that I don't know about, like the first segment of this video when they talk about politics in Israel and Palestine, I skip on it because I don't want to spread misinformation or get stuff wrong, and I'm just not qualified for that, right?
That's a good point. Like, I don't get involved in those topics because those things have been going on for thousands of years, and I don't feel qualified to comment on a lot of it either. I mean, I think it's crazy, and it's not, frankly, my issue. But this is insane. Wow.
They don't know what they're talking about, yet they feel like their opinion should be out there just because
Yeah.
they're Frogan and they're the rising star of the year 10 years in a row or whatever. It's just such a tone-deaf response. And your own fans are telling you their situation. She doesn't like the fact that her brother's in the military and the brother doesn't even like it, but they have to do it. She's like, well, there's other ways to go around.
Well, that's
it.
how
Just
someone
do
of
this.
privilege
At this point,
talks.
I don't know who's worse, Frogan, Denims, or Hasan Piker. I don't even think she's bringing $12 to the platform. And I get why they want to keep Hasan. The Twitch CEO is a Hasan Piker fanboy, and he loves that Hasan Lissy. But Frogan, she's bringing nothing to the platform.
No one should believe that Frogan has an ounce of progressive values within her. What does she think happens to the families and the children of people who come back from serving, who have PTSD and have no support system? How many of those people?
Yeah, it's not
don't go on
progressive. It's not a progressive value at all.
to contribute to society? How many of those people don't go on at all? And those that do, how many of them go on to be a net negative because of their trauma? We just had two
Typically, classical liberalism was all for social safety nets. This is not classical liberalism in the slightest.
terror attacks happen on January 1st, 2025, both committed by military veterans. One was the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion, in which the perpetrator, Matthew Livelsberger, admitted in letter that he wanted to cleanse his mind of the brothers that he lost and relieve himself of the burden of the lives he took.
I wonder if Frogan will ever respond to this, or at least share her
No,
thoughts
she
on
won't.
it, or give her side of the story. It is accurate. You cannot say stuff like,
No, she won't do that. No one will do that because they have an agenda. They're ideologically captured, and they're not going to break out of their own like Overton window for anything. It would take a serious cognitive behavioral therapy, you could say, or an event in their life that would do that, or it's not going to happen. As long as they're in a what I would call a position of privilege, then it won't happen.
I hope all military guys.
See, in order to
PTSD,
morally
not using their results.
in order to posture morally, you have to have a soapbox. You have to be in a position where you can do that.
Of said PTSD. I mean, it's one thing to say it, and then it's another thing to see it in real life and how people with actual PTSD act. We just saw right now is the actual
I've known people with
effect
PTSD.
of
It's
having
horrendous
PTSD.
on them.
The more time passes, the worse this whole argument of
Like
Frogan
real
of,
PTSD,
I
yeah.
hope all military guys die and they get PTSD. They deserve it. It's such a dumb take.
Like, why would you
Founded by
say
Katie
that?
Cinderella, the Streamer Awards is an annual awards show that celebrates
I mean, what kind of hate boner do you need in order to say something like that, like a blanket statement on a people? Like, I don't say that about anyone.
achievements in the live streaming industry over the previous year. The first one was held in 2022. One of the categories that streamers can be nominated for in the Streamer Awards is Rising Star, an award that is dedicated to streamers who are still up and coming. As the website says, these streamers have tremendous growth over the past year and have the potential to be a top streamer.
Okay.
I'm still mad. I never got nominated for this. Not in 2020, not in 2021 when I blew up, not in 2022 when I killed it, not in 2023 when I killed it even more. Even 2024 was my best year ever. None of those times I've been nominated for Rising Star of the Year. The fact that Frogan got nominated and won is
Wow. She won that? And you're saying that she only has 160 concurrent viewers?
trigger ring to me. All right, I'm triggered. I'm mad, and I will crash out if I don't win this year.
Frogan was nominated for the Rising Star Award.
Stance is our rising star.
Stans ended up winning instead of her, but that's fine because Frogan was nominated again in 2023 for the same award. Right?
How can you be a rising star every year? Sooner or later, you've risen. Like, I don't understand how you can be a rising star every year. Like, how far are you rising? When do you ever quit rising?
Rising Star. I personally don't have an issue with this because it's just a show.
Yeah,
It was made for
that's
streamers
true.
to give awards to their other streamer friends.
It's a club.
People were confused as to
And this guy doesn't need to feel bad about it. It's a social club. The MLB does that with the All-Stars. There's people like Dale Murphy for the Atlanta Braves that will never be in the All-Stars because, I mean, who knows what he did. It's not public, but for some reason they just don't like him. That's just the way it is.
to how she got nominated twice in a row. It's a valid question. How can you be a potential rising star 2 years in a row? Mizkif, an actually popular streamer, commented on the categories during one of his streams.
For instance, I'm alive, and Frogan. Frogan was there last year. How do you know him? I literally, all I do is sit and watch Twitch. Well, I don't watch Twitch. I scroll through and look at people, and I'm like, damn, they have a lot of viewers.
That's something I need to start doing. Like, I literally don't do any of that. Like, I don't know any of these people. It just, like, I didn't even know Hasan existed until, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago or something? Yeah, that's when I started knowing, because I don't spend all my time going through Twitch and looking at all the different people. I had a couple of people that I didn't watch Twitch that much. I mainly call it YouTube, right?
As you can see, she already
yeah, I did watch some League streams back in the day.
out here.
She's gonna cry.
Absolutely.
I think this is the one.
I was VIP
Frogan's
in
on
one.
here again. I feel like that doesn't make any sense.
OTK is nominated again.
Well, you can't be a rising star forever. Like, was that 3 years in a row you're a rising star? How does that make sense?
For Org of the Year. Why are you nominated again?
Like, you can just see how mad she is.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, what the fuck did you just say to me? I'm the rising star queen. What do you care about an award show? That means nothing. It's not important. I don't understand why people care so much about winning awards that are meaningless. I would understand if it was an Oscar. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's the same thing. Same thing. Just like the Nobel Peace Prize is basically worthless nowadays. Like, whatever worth it did have, and it wasn't much, it's just been devalued every year.
Maybe even the Grammy, even though that shit's super rigged, but you know what I mean. Or maybe your YouTube Plaque Awards. You get 100K because you earned those on YouTube.
Yeah.
You worked hard. Or 1 million, or 10 million, or whatever the next goal is.
Well, think of it like in terms of an MMO, like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14. If I have a title in that game that I earned, then it's worth something, because everyone knows, okay, I put in the time, I put in the work to earn that title. But if Blizzard Entertainment or Square Enix is just like, we're going to assign titles based on who we like, it would be worth less than when it'd be political. It'd be like, well, whose cock didn't you suck type thing.
Those are, in my opinion, valid award shows because you made it happen. It's not a massive Twitch circle jerk of, you know, their friends.
And circle jerks, they hurt Mavericks.
Get award show. I would understand if I lost out on those and I was nominated, right? But the streamer awards, bro, no one cares. No one cares. And 99% of the population does not even know they exist. It's once again, I
didn't know they existed until this very video.
The top Twitch streamers giving awards to their other Twitch friends. That's what it is. So this means nothing. Unless I'm nominated, then it means something. Until then,
you're either a star or not. You know what
he's honest. He's being honest about it.
She is so offended.
I feel like this award should be like a falling star award, bro. That'd be so funny. I would clear.
Hey, it has to happen. I mean, it's Newton's law of gravity. What comes up, gotta come down.
Huh? Okay, it makes me really upset. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to cry, but it really does make me really upset.
Womp womp.
So I get
She might be getting PTSD. I wonder if she has health insurance.
that she's likely pretty new to having this level of attention directed at her, and it's overwhelming. But it seems pretty clear that Mizkif wasn't being overly harsh on Frogan. He even made a self-deprecating joke about himself, about him clearing the Falling Star Award. Frogan, however, viewed it in the exact opposite way.
Well,
she immediately
these
took offense
people
to these comments and assumed that
these people are in a position of what they would call privilege, where they're not used to any resistance in their echo chamber. So then when they get out of it, they feel great. They feel great, like almost like sandpaper against their mind, where it's like, wow, I've never been in a space where my ideas have to compete on a free market. That's what it really is.
the joke was directed towards her. Mizkif came into her chat to explain and apologize.
Annoyed! I'm annoyed! I saw the clip. The reason I said that I don't think he deserved the Rising Star Award is because I think that it should be based on that year. We have grown a lot from this year. I meant to no ill with it. Okay, here's my thing. When you say like that and the way you're saying it,
Why are they saying Miz is like 4 or 5 inches max? Like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, what does it matter even if he is? Think about that for a moment. It may be a hot take, but for guys out there, I want you to pay attention to something. And this is very important. It doesn't matter how big you are. It matters that it feels good when it happens. Why do you want to be big? What, do you care about someone else? Like, what's going on?
In front of your audience of like 25,000 people, allowing them to continue to make fun of me? How do you think that makes me feel?
I mean, look at what the chat just said about Miz.
Feel great, but she's the last person to be speaking about this.
I mean, guys really have to think about that. Like 4 or 5 inches. Look, if it feels good to you, mission accomplished. You did great.
Oh, fun and games. You're getting all the tech W's, omega lows.
This seems like PTSD to me.
I didn't even know this was a thing until somebody tweeted it to me.
This is exactly what happens. Like, they need to put this on a cassette tape. Like, we got to go back to VHS and put this in schools of what happens when your ideas aren't used to competing in a free market of ideas, and then it starts to fail.
So while she's complaining about the possibility of people coming in and harassing her,
Yeah.
her own chat was insulting Ms. Kiff and even making death threats towards her.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, why do people get so emotional?
Nicest Frogan fence right here, guys. I don't know. And it's not like Frogan was new to streaming. She's been doing this, or at that point, if I'm not mistaken, she's been doing that for 2 to 3 years.
She's
And
been a rising star.
I get it. The internet could be a pretty mean place.
Yeah.
It's been called pretty much everything you could imagine. Do I care?
I'm used to the internet
No,
culture.
Because who's a multi-billionaire and who isn't? So maybe not a billionaire, but you know what I mean. Well, you're too sensitive to work online and go work another job that isn't this. It's not like you're innocent either. You do your fair share of stupidity to get people mad at you. That's the internet for you. If you can't handle it, look for another job.
First video, I pushed it on Twitter. She quote tweeted me shortly after, and I was not expecting what I saw.
Destiny's cummies dried up for her. LMAO.
What does that even mean?
This is sexualizing
Chat, what does that mean?
just because I've been associated with another content creator in the past. Aren't you supposed to be a leftist? I don't think I've ever talked about Frogan this way. By the way, remember, she started off in Hasan's community, and she has been modding for Hasan for years.
Wow, can you imagine? Like, these are the people, guys. These are the people who are gatekeeping you. Like, these are the moderators. These are the people in Reddit. Here they are. They're pulled out into the fucking light.
She does all sorts of work for him. I don't have that kind of relationship with any other content creator the way that she does.
The thing with Frogan is that she's so aggressive. The difference here between Frogan and other people who are quote unquote real YNs like myself, is that we don't pretend to be positive in this wholesome content creator 24/7 like she does. It's not like I'm putting on the mask every single time I come and upload. And then in real life, I'm like this horrible, rude person. The thing with Frogan is that she's not genuine. She's not real. But in reality, she's so rude, so mean, so aggressive. It's like...
she was so aggressive in that tweet. Unbelievable.
That's wholesome and begging for money on Twitch.
You look at your haters, and it's an ugly ass bitch with no fucking eyebrows.
Capitalism in Decay World Tour. And then you're going to put Japanese below it. Like, it's an aesthetic. Like, this is a new aesthetic or something. Like, I think if most of these people went to Japan, and I have been to Japan, I think if most people have, like, these would go there, they would find that they don't like it. It's too negentropic for them. Yeah.
Or no lips coming after you.
Honestly,
they'd
Frogan
probably get
should be
banned.
the last person talking about anybody's looks. I'm not gonna say anything else, but you know, I did learn more about Frogan.
Well, you go to looks when you have literally nothing else to say. When there's nothing else to say, that's like when people they go into my comments and they're like, "Oh, well, you're a ginger, you're fat." It's like, oh yeah. I mean, I don't like. As soon as you see that, it doesn't matter.
And indeed, she is as bad as I thought, if not just an even worse human being than we all thought. Beyond cooked. No one will ever defend her besides Hasan Piker. And even Hasan Piker sometimes doesn't come out and defend her. So it's just a matter of time before people realize and they're like, holy shit, this person's actually horrible. But anyways, with that said, thanks so much for watching. I'm starving. It's
damn. Well, I had no idea that was going on, guys. We're going to go ahead and give that a thumbs up. I can appreciate it from Sensitive Society. I mean, I cannot believe that that's a mod. Like, really? That's a mod for Hasan? Guys, these are the moderators. These are the people. These are people who have absolutely no experience trying to sell their ideas on a free marketplace where people don't have to. And then when they reject it, then they have this like, I don't know. It's like, okay, now that I'm out of the echo chamber and people can disagree with me, I hate it so much that I want to stop their ability to disagree with it. It's actually like some sort of warfare or something. It's crazy. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's it.